Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab, and I'm in the book, but I'm about to wrap it up. We at the end of the book. I'm doing appendixes now. I'm gonna do 3 and 5, and I think that will be the end of my app. I'll move on to another book. Got a bunch of them over there for you. So anybody want to get a little heads up, send in the information what they want to learn about. Other than that, I'm gonna find me something that I think might work. Maybe meditation or I don't know, something like this. ISIS. I got some more to finish up in the tree of life. I might pull that out to wrap that up. So again, let's go. Wrightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's wrap it up and do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're right thinker, your goal is to, yep, excuse me, know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? Well, when I get through, that's what I do. It's rhetorical. But if you know how to answer for yourself, Tony, I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. Hey, to my yacht be true. We wrapping up with right thinkers. Let's talk about this is a long title. The philosophy of righteous actions, social order, and spiritual upliftment of humanity in our ancient Egypt and in India. This is the philosophy that they practice. I'm gonna run down 1, 2, 3. I got 5 chronological philosophies to lay out for you. This is what it looks like. Mayat was practiced 5000 BCE. The next practice came along with the Hindu and the Buddhist at 800 BCE. And before that, you got the Chinese, excuse me, you got the Jewish Ten Commandments. They came around 1000 BCE. Then you got Chinese Confucius and Taoism. They was around at 500 BCE. And then pull up the rear, you got your Christians. Okay, y'all started at zero. Y'all started the clock going forward. Everything was going backwards when Christ came around. The AC after Christ. This is before Christ. Next was after Christian or Christ era. Okay, BCE from ACE. But this is the concept. For any society, a philosophy of righteous action which will promote social order and harmony. This is how the Commissions live. It is essential to the creation of any civilized community and for the survival of the population as well as the prosperity of the country, the people therein. This harmony and prosperity is the basis which allows what we call higher spiritual study, esoteric teaching, learning the hidden meaning of the signs and symbols that y'all take for granted. That's what I teach you. And the practice to take place and for the culture to endure, last, continue. Egyptians for 3,000 years lived in peace and harmony, untouched and unscathed by anybody other than themselves. They did just fine with what? Maya. In a society wherein discontent and unrest distract the people, obstructs them from attaining your higher philosophy of what we call self discovery or nihas, which is know thyself. the sages and the saints of our ancient Kemet, not Egypt, Kemet. I mean, the Greeks wasn't involved. Okay, the Greeks came in and called us Egyptians. We were commissioned before them. Before them, we was Timeri. All right, but or keep our Kibbalah, whatever you want to call it. But we wasn't Egyptians. So the ancient Egyptians mean the Cometians before the Greeks came along. All right, but our ancient Kemet introduced and watch this, perfected this philosophy. What philosophy? They called it Maya. This teaching influenced the creation of the regulations for what we call righteous conduct. And in the Greek philosophy, they practiced it. In the Hinduism, they practiced it. Judaism, Chinese philosophy, Christianity, and Islam, as all of these people had contact with the ancient Egyptians. Remember, when the Greeks come in, that's when Egypt changed its name. Kemet went from Kemet to Egypt because of the Greeks. That's their way, okay? Maya, this is what we try to understand, represents the very order of that constitutes what? That is cosmic order. She represents the universe. Why? She's the reason why it's order. What you mean? Therefore, it was said, the story goes, okay, the creation story, when Ra came out of the noon was full of potential, full of possibilities, but it was full of chaos. What he did, Maya, I need order. That's her job, to instruct order throughout the universe. And now the Supreme Being created the universe. How? By putting Maya in place of what? Chaos and potential. Okay? So creation itself is really Maya. Mhm. Creation without order is chaos. That's the noon. We know about that. That's where we come from. All right? Understand that. But Maya is therefore what we call or know to be a profound teaching in which what? In which reference to the nature of creation and the manner in which human conduct should be cultivated. She's gonna teach you how to be, according to the negative compressions of Maya. She's teaching you how to be what your best self to what past judgment day by Lightheart. It contains what they call cosmic as well as worldly implications. It refers to what they call a deeper understanding of divinity and the manner in which virtuous qualities can be developed, learning, living according to what? The philosophy of Maya, and developed in the human heart, again, so as to come closer to who? God, the divine, becoming one. Maya philosophy is based on what we call spiritual signs and symbols. I just gave that lesson. Didn't like it too well, but that's okay. But as well as what they call cosmic energy or the force, which pervades the entire universe. When Yoda was teaching Luke about the force, that's what he was telling him. Maya is personified by the goddess divinity. She is the symbolic embodiment of world order, justice, righteousness, divine correctness, harmony, reciprocity, and peace. Those are all the qualities that you can exhibit practicing the philosophy of Maya. You master these, you master yourself. She is also known by her headdress. It's composed of the feather, which symbolizes all the qualities I just told you about, and she is the form of the goddess Aset, who represents what? Wisdom and intuitive knowledge. The other half of what? Spirit, which is Asar. She's intuitive knowledge. She represents the knowledge that you got to raise your conscious level and communicate with your higher self to get information that you didn't study for. It's already there. We call it the Akashic Records. All right, for those in the know. But she represents wisdom and spiritual awakening. Ding, ding, ding. Through what? Balanced thinking and equanimity. Using this thing up here, your brain. Don't use one side to think or the action. Use both equally. It's equanimity, using both sides of your brain. That's what Mayat teaches you, how to think and function with what? Equanimity, using your both sides of your brain to make what? Better decisions. Our in ancient Egypt, if this was practiced now, we wouldn't have the problem we have right now with just numbnuts in the presidency. In ancient Egypt, the judges and all those connected to the judicial system or the political arena were initiated into the teachings of Maya. Your judges were priests of Maya. Why is that? Thus, those who would discharge the laws need to be fully and understanding the regulations of society were well trained in what? Ethical and moral, spiritual, mystical values of life. We held ourselves to a higher standard. Why? Because we the one that's calling the shots, so we have to be. That's like me being the right thinker and not doing what I need to do to be a right thinker. I can't call myself a right thinker. So you got the highest respect you can pay to Maya is what? Practice of philosophy. Become one with her. She's the God that you're trying to connect with. These principles, again, she represents principles, philosophical, spiritual principles, spiritual disciplines that you can practice. These principles included the application of the just and the responsibility to what? Serve and promote harmony where? In society, as well as the possibility for spiritual development in any atmosphere and the freedom to have peace. For only when there is justice at the highest level and fairness at the top in society, and we don't have that right now, so we're suffering. Can there be any what? Abiding harmony and peace? Harmony and peace are necessary for the pursuit of true happiness in oneself, in the inner fulfillment of anyone's life. We all should have the same opportunity. I tell you, if it's 9 billion people on earth, there's 9 billion ways to get to God. You can manifest your own way. Just get busy and work on it. The opposite of Maya, and he don't get much respect, and I'm glad about that. In our time, the devil get more raised than God. Y'all talk more about the devil than you do God. Y'all give the devil more credit than you do God. Why is this nonsense? Maya, the opposite of Maya, which is righteousness, is what they call in Maya or unrighteous. Or the name was Isfet, Isfet. He's chaos, total chaos. You think Set is the bad man? Isfet is worse. But Mayat beat him down so bad, he gets no play. That's a good thing. In Christendom, y'all give the devil more praise than you do God. I see that, and I got a problem with that, but that's the lesson for now. Hope you understood it. This is just to teach you how what? To reach a self-mastery within yourself and live right in society. It's a societal thing. Humanity should all be able to practice what? Mayat. Y'all want everybody to be a Christian or Muslim or Jew? Just say I'll be practice Mayat. You can be what you want. Now let's get to this last one. This is the picture of Ra, Mayat, and Tahuti. Mayat leads the way. She is the way. Okay? That's Ra. How you know who he is? Falcon headdress, sun disk with the Uranus, the serpent. Look like a child drew this, but okay. This is my dude. This is Tahuti. He got the ibis head, okay, but he got his half moon headdress and the feather. He also rocking, everybody rocking the arm, okay. That was the standard, okay. Key of life. That's what they called it. Now let's talk about the summary of what we call the Maya philosophy. I'm gonna break it down for you. This is it. We're closing it out. Hope you enjoyed the lesson I gave you. This is called the Maya principle of ethical conduct. That's what Maya represents. Moral code. Okay. Hold yourself accountable. That's what's all about yourself. Not somebody else, yourself. Okay. The Commission path of Maya, it didn't say the Egyptians. Commission path of Maya because it started 5000 BCE. That's before what? The Greeks came in. That's why we're not Egyptians. Okay, we turn Egyptians at 3200 BCE. All of a sudden, we're Egyptians. All right, let's start with the first one. It's called truth, and this is my favorite. Why? Because this is all pertaining to right. Truth is what? My yacht is right action. Starting off. Understanding the nature of the divine leads to right knowing right from wrong. That's my yacht. You need to know both. Why? Now the decisions you make is based on what you know, not what you feel or what you think, so you can make a bad decision. When you know right from wrong, your decision to do what right is based on your call. Your decision to do wrong, again, your call, your choice, free will. Don't get it confused, please. Don't blame somebody else for the things that you're responsible for, and that's you. Okay? You need to know to differentiate from real, right and wrong, as well as reality from unreality. This world is unreality, what we think is real. The dream world, where we go without the body, that's reality, according to our ancients and Aborigines and Native Americans. The real world is when you go to sleep. Why, I tell you, you practicing for death every time you lay down and go to sleep, because that's what death is going to be, that long good night, that long sleep. But the physical body stays here. The conscious and the spirit, if they are one, they're going home. And they will be conscious forever. That's the beauty part about immortality. You reach your immortality by what? Becoming one with God. Now you know who you are, and you will be you forever. I like that idea. Okay, sign me up. Okay, I'm in line for that. That's what I'm doing my way. I want to take my shot with knowing me forever. All right, so I'm doing what I need to do. Next, let's talk about. I gave you that's about nonviolence. Nonviolence don't mean you're a punk, don't mean you're soft. You just don't use that approach to solve problems. This is the philosophy of our first multi-genius, Imhotep. Then we had Akhenaten, the first what? They call him the heretic pharaoh because he was the one god. Atum, the sun, represented God. We did that to a degree. Ra represents the sun. Okay. But you got Ptahhotep, and you have other Cometian sages from ancient times who approached life what in peace. And you got Ari Imhotep performing actions in peace and contentment. I tell you, I call it selfless service. I'm doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do to help somebody else out with not them owing me anything, not wanting something from them. That's the difference. That's nonviolence approach and it's right actions. Now let's go with right actions lead to what? Self-control. Living in accordance with the teachings of Maya, aka right thinking philosophy, you will live with integrity and honesty. Those are qualities that we don't hear no more. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's looking. How's your integrity? How do you act in what you think is the privacy? I'm always knowing I'm being watched, so I'm on guard to do what? The right thing all the time. I ain't sneaky or deceitful. I ain't trying to hide from God. When Adam and Eve got caught out there, what they want to do? They hid themselves. That's a sure sign of what? Guilt. Sign of guilt. When kids don't know about that, we know when they got that look. We been there, done that. Okay. God is like the ultimate parent. He know everything. He been there, done that. So trying to trick him or fool him don't work. They found that out too. Wow, they had to get the hell out of the Garden of Eden. Simple as that. Oh, you got to go. But no, go. Right action leads to self-control. That's the ego under control, and you're living what with honesty and integrity. The ego don't live like that. The ego sneaky and deceitful. They can't occupy the same space. Right? Speech. Hey, Makaru. Speaking the truth and refraining from anger in your speech or lying. Some people can't help themselves. Your boy, he can't stop from lying to save his life. Whenever that pie hole open up, a lie gonna jump out. That kind of person ain't good. Simple as that. Moving on. I ain't gonna beat him up, but that's just a fact. He just fit the mold. Right? Worship. What you mean by that? I gotta put a pin in that one. If what you're worshiping or who you follow, whatever God you call Jehovah, Allah, Ishkabibble, Christ, whatever God you follow, if what you're doing, showing devotion, worship to them, and you're not being blessed for it, you should change gods. That's what I'm saying. My God blesses me daily. My pastor's God blesses him daily. My brother who's a Muslim, God blesses him daily. My Jew boy, Jehovah blesses him. So we all live in different lives, but we all receiving what? Blessings for the deeds that we do in our lives. It ain't that hard to understand. I hope not. Right worship, correct practice of any religion, including your devotion, your practice, your chanting, your meditation, your donation to the temple, whatever it is. I go to church every week and I got to have church money to donate to the pot. I'm not just going there to get a message and don't bring nothing to the house. That I wouldn't go. Simple as that. So I've always got to, those are things that you do out of respect. That's it. Selfless service, my favorite subject. I do this. This is what I do for what? You, not myself. Well, I guess my man said it's your therapy. Yes, my way of getting on some of my frustration and my rants. Perfect. 6 years I'm doing it. So I'm getting what? Therapy, I guess. Or what? It's working for me. Hope it's helping you out. That's my goal. Right? Worship. No, next one. Selfless service. That's what I think is favorite. When you give service to humanity, what I'm doing right here. I would have a platform that I can speak from and use what I got to give to other people, humanity. That includes taking care of the homeless. When I was the street, I go to the street, I'm going to get some off the streets and help them out. The clothesless, I give shelter, I give clothes to the needy, and feed the hungry and the needy. Those are things you do if you are practicing the philosophy of Maya. You help those who are in need and don't want nothing in return. That's called a selfless service. Not just giving shows. I go out the street. When I'm in the street, I'm to help. Okay? Balance of mind, right reasoning and right thinking. I like this. This is my favorite right here. Because this is going to tell you what you need to know. Right thinking is keeping your mind what? Balanced, equanimity, using positive pros and cons, good, right, wrong, whatever. Use them both before you make a decision. That's all I'm saying. That's what right thinking that y'all call it critical thinking. Okay, but if you want to be critical, critically think all the time. I want to be right, so I do the right thing by thinking right and controlling my emotions and doing right. So as not to what? Lose your faculty or your rational cognition. Being right in your thinking, being right in your actions keeps you on point, keeps you in line with Maya. This involves a close attention, what we call mindfulness, to what? Control and prevent and eradicate the egoistic tendencies of the mind, your arrogance, conceit, self-importance, greed, etc. Those are all satanian low-level qualities that you want to eradicate with right thinking. That's what it's all about. Knowing them, okay? Don't do them. What? They bad. They're no good. But you know about it. Yeah, I do. I ain't got to practice it. You going down the street. House of ill repute. Church. Your choice. What you gonna do? Depending where your head at, depending where your understanding is, you might opt for the pleasures. Okay, and some people do. Just remember, you're responsible. That's all. If you're willing to pay the price for what you did, go for it. I did. And I don't do that no more. Why? I don't want to pay the price. How you avoid paying the price? Don't do it. Simple. Don't think you can do it a little bit or do it just one. No, don't do it or you'll pay the price. Simple as that. Forget that. Proverbial not. You know who that is. Yeah, karma. You get it. Not stealing. Two things I can't stand: a liar and a thief. And if you do one, you do the other, so they go hand in hand. Okay? Stealing is a socially disruptive practice which denotes the degraded level of the human consciousness, and it reinforces what? The ignorance of worldly desires and selfish pleasures, seeking as well as what? Greed. You got something you can't afford, you steal it. Somebody got something you like and you can't get it, you steal it. I come from that's bottle number 11. You don't steal it, you gangster it. Okay, strong arm it. Give me this. If you can't protect what you got, somebody will take it. Old school. If you ain't got no protection, you got a problem. Okay, and again, where we at? Sexual sublimation. I got two more to go. I'm taking them there. Sexual sublimation. I've been trying to teach y'all about sexual uh, semen retention. No masturbation, no sexual contact for a month. Are you crazy? can't hold these young people accountable to that kind of responsibility to themselves, they ain't never going to make it. Personal challenge, try a year. The question, what tree bear fruit 12 times a year? Let me know if you got the answer. Moving on, let me wrap this up. Sexual sublimation, meaning controlling your lower nature, young men and women. Y'all just giving that thing away. It got no value at all. You know what I'm talking about. But sexuality is one of the strongest primordial forces of nature, and that's a fact. No ifs, ands, buts about it. If you can't control your sexual urges, you're going to have problems. With nature must be controlled. Your lower nature, your egoistic, your sexual urges have to be controlled in order for you to allow your personality to raise or discover what? Your higher perspectives of life. You got to let that thing go. Some people can't. Some people won't. Okay, but they pay the price. Simple as that. I don't give a good goddamn. Simple. I'll give you the layout. It's on you. Now, your decision. Again, once I give you the layout, once I give you the game plan, you fulfill it any way you want to your liking. That's how I do it. Mine. Last one. I appreciate you tuning in. Let me take it home with this one. The Mayat offering. The highest offering you can give by acting with righteousness, virtues, attaining virtue, and the supreme offering is made how? Through the Mayat offering, in which you, the person, is making the offering. You enter into your meditative awareness state through the ritual, and you'll see him or yourself what? As becoming one with Maya. That's what the goal for all right thinkers, knowing thyself, knowing that Maya and you are one. That makes you divine. That puts you in the same frame with Rob. Okay? That's what he put her there for. You pass the feather judgment test, you come to hang out with Rob for what? Eternity. Let's go. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Right thinkers, in closing, may you all live to be 100. But if you ain't practicing my philosophy, you won't be no more. I live 100 minus a day, so I never know my right thinkers who, or y'all who say you right thinkers, we find out at Judgment Day who passed away. If you did it right, I see you there. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be right back.